Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualised NZ. Now I'll get into the project that we're doing today in a little bit, but first I want to just make a quick announcement. Tomorrow, the same day that this video airs, because I'm filming this a day ahead, I am launching a swap in my Facebook group Visual Vibes. So it will be a virtual swap to avoid those expensive and time poor qualities of our postal system right now, and it also allows anybody to participate, so you will not have the cost of posting anything away to anybody. Now I know we all enjoy receiving happy mail, but the reality is that some people can't afford to post mail, so I'm going to keep it virtual for now. So if you're interested in signing up for the swap, the details will be on my Facebook page as of today from the time you see this video. There you'll find all the details of how it's going to work, what's required, the time frames, all that sort of thing. So hop along to the Facebook group. You need to sign up for April swap by the end of March, and I'm talking New Zealand time, so for you that are in the Northern Hemisphere, you need to sign up by, how many days in March? 31? So you need to sign up by the 30th of March, because your 31st of March will actually be our 1st of April, which is when the swap will kick off. I hope I've made that clear, but if not, then just hop onto Facebook, find the group Visual Vibes if you're not already in there, and come and play with us. Check it out, see what it's like, see if it's for you, and have some fun. So with that announcement made, let's get into today's project. So this project came to me as I was drifting off to sleep. I was like, just running through things through my mind loosely, and it was like, I kind of like that idea. What can I do with it? Where can I take it? Will it work? So I've done a little bit of prep because I needed to. Otherwise this video would probably be a couple of hours long, and I haven't got time for that, and I'm sure you don't either. So I did some die cutting this morning, and I've got this set of hexagon cutting dies that's in 6 different sizes. So I went through and cut out a whole bunch. So every time I ran it through the machine, I cut out 6 at once in various sizes. So these are all the smaller 5 in the series, and I've just kept out the 6, what am I trying to say? The largest of the 6 is the ones that I've kept out, because I'm going to be working with those today. These will be for something else, so I'm going to pop those aside, but I just wanted to see that it took me maybe half an hour to cut out all of these, and they're all in neutrals, book page, sewing pattern, craft paper, music paper, etc. So that is, sorry about the clicks, that is what we're working with today. And I also wanted to show you this. This is the negative from cutting out the 6. So as you can see, hopefully, maybe if I put it on the white, might show up better. I kind of tried to arrange them so that they left a nice pattern behind. If we've got time, I also want to do something with this in this video, but we'll see how we get on. We may not have time. We can but try. So I've got out just a bit from an accounting software book that's totally boring, totally, yeah, you wouldn't want to use it for anything, but it is good copyweight paper, and we're going to cover it, so we don't care what's on it. And I'm going to start collaging with these hexagons. Now my cutting dies are a cheap non-branded set. So they are not actually equal on all sides, unfortunately. So I do have to make decisions on how I lay them down. But I have a few thoughts on that, so we'll work through that as we go through this process, because I'm sure the issues are going to rise to their heads. I can't imagine that they won't. So I'm just going to start off in one corner, lining it up with the edge of my paper, like so. And of course we've got a blank bit here, but never fear, I have a plan for it if we need to cover it. We don't necessarily need to cover it. So I'm going to try and match up the sides that are the same. But I know it's not going to be a flawless, oops, gouging out my glue stick. Not going to be a flawless process. And at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to matter too much. But we will find out. Just going to use a wipe to get the glue off the surface there that I managed to get everywhere. So I want to mix and match between the text, the music and the craft paper. So I hope this is something that you will enjoy, a different way to use die cuts. Hope everyone has had a fabulous week. It's Friday here today when you're seeing this video. Weekend coming up. And we're going to have a quiet weekend at home this weekend. We're not going anywhere. Not that I know of. I don't think we're going anywhere. Except to church on Sunday. So we'll probably just potter around home. Depends on the weather. Might be a bit of housework and that sort of boring adult type stuff. But yeah, we'll just see what happens. Nothing terribly exciting going on. But we were out basically all last weekend, so it's not a bad idea to have a weekend at home. And next weekend we're going to be out all weekend as well, so going to see my beautiful friend, which I'm super excited about. I'm already looking forward to it. Only arranged it yesterday, so it's like, ooh, can't wait. And then it's my mother-in-law's birthday during next week, so the weekend after her birthday, which will be the Sunday after visiting my friend, we're going to go up and see her and spend a good part of the day with her in honour of her birthday. So that will be nice as well. We'll have lunch up with her and go to her church for a change. Their church likes when we come. I don't know why. I have no idea why they like it when we go, but it's rather sweet to be welcomed. Right, so just busy trying to collage up. Oops, I think I'm going to get rid of this page since I've gouged out the glue stick on all over it. And it is very, very sticky. Now, which way did I have that? Did I have it that way? Or did I? That way. Yeah, so that's our weekend plans for this weekend and for next weekend. Oh, I'm still gouging out the glue stick. Goodness, what's going on? Obviously, it doesn't like the hexagon shape. Or it's just me. Need my white back again. Get rid of some of that glue. It could be that I've given up being cold for today because I was super cold, even though it's warm and sunny outside. And so I lit the fire and now it's quite warm. In fact, I'm going to pull up my sleeves because I'm getting quite toasty. And I think it's making my glue stick a bit goopy. Just a bit goopy. So nothing too exciting at the moment, just collaging up with shapes, which I think will look quite cool, but the cool part is then what I turn it into. I think that's going to be fun. And I'm not worried about whether the text is straight or upside down or sideways or whatever. It's just however it fits. Like this one cut out slightly wonky. I think it is perfectly fine. But I am trying to make sure I don't put the same type of paper next to each other. That may not go as flawless either, but I'll try. So this is the bit I'm gluing down, same as this. So I'm going to put it over the other side. I think it's so much fun working with neutrals, because then it's like a palette, just a blank palette for however you want to decorate it up. Whatever journal you want to put it in, it will go. It will suit. trying to work out which way it fits best. That way, I think. Okay, try and remember to work out from the centre out to the edges so I don't gouge my glue anymore, because that's just so messy. And I'm going to throw away that bit of paper because it's transferring glue to the front from where I've gouged out the glue stick. My fingers are so sticky. And I don't think it matters if you've got little slivers of white showing. I think at the end of the day it's all going to be fairly seamless. That one in the middle. So I hope you're having a good Friday, that it's a fun Friday, a satisfying Friday, whatever you're up to. Whether you're working and coming to the end of your working week, which is always a nice feeling, isn't it? Right, so I don't want to glue the very edge of that because it's going to be over the edge. So this is a bit of a German book page, so it's got some foreign text on it, and somebody's written on it as well. It's just made little marks. They must be taking notes or something. So little marks in blue pen written on it, which is fine. This is a bit of Wuthering Heights book, this. Oh, I didn't notice whether it was overhanging. Oh well, I'm going to glue the whole thing. I'll just have to clean my mat from any glue that transfers to it. Yep, and it does hang over. Never mind. Just don't push it down on the side. In fact, I'm just going to trim off both those bits. Now, just because I can. Right. So I'm quickly running into a point where I might be tempted to put some brown paper, some craft paper together. But let's see what we can do without doing that. See if we can avoid it. Because I think it's fun when you completely mix it up. And it's not taking too long to do this. I think it's taking me less time than if I was using scraps in some ways. Right, so we could put a craft one up here, but I think I'll do this space first. Bit of sewing pattern, which is a bit of fun. Oops, slipping, sliding. And right now we'll put our bit of craft in there. I'm surprised actually, I must admit, I thought they would give me huge problems fitting them together, that they wouldn't fit together nicely because they weren't symmetrical. But actually, as long as you line them up the same way, they actually go together really nicely. I'm going to cut that off because it's got glue on the back of it. Oh, sticking to my mat now. Is there somewhere we want to put this? Maybe we could put this here. Might put that there. Okay, so I'm running out of pieces, which I thought might happen. I wondered whether I had done enough or not. And that's all right, it's fine. This is another bit of Wuthering Heights, but it's the opposite side of the page that was printed really sort of smudgily, like it's been printed twice almost. So it's got a different look to this bit down here, just because it's the opposite side of the page. Right, let's just add a bit of glue where I hadn't glued on this bit. There we go. Trim off those bits. Right, we might be able to pop another bit of this up here. Yep. I'm going to tear it so I'm not gluing, or I don't need to glue. It's probably a little bit of self-preservation or something, mess preservation. Oh, getting glue all over it again. Right, so I've got no more texty ones, so we've got a decision. We could either fill these with the craft or leave them. So I think I might fill them with the craft paper because oops, sorry, can I do this without knocking the camera? I think I managed it. Sorry if I did knock the camera, but I don't think I did. Because I've got a couple of bits left of the craft, so why not use it up and fill those gaps. That one, and oops, let's put my ruler on top of it. There we go. That way. And we've got half of the hexagon left over. Oops. Wind my glue up. So if you don't have hexagons, then you could do this with any shape. They don't have to butt up like this. You could just overlap them, or you could trim them so that they're square edged. Yeah, just be creative, but just a different way to use up some die cuts. If you've got some that are ready made, that's sort of just hanging around, you don't know what to do with, had them for a project and had them left over, then you might do something like this. Right, just going to trim up a bit of overhang here. And a bit at the top here. Sticking to my fingers. Okay, so we've got here, so you've noticed, may have noticed, we've got this edge here and we've got a few gaps here, which is absolutely fine for what I have planned. Just want to grab out a sample journal page and just check the height. Okay, so I think that will work as a side tuck or a pocket, side pocket, even though it's not the height, because it would work on a shorter page, or you can just have a gap at top and bottom. It doesn't need to go full page. So I'm going to cut off a section that's going to be a side tuck. I want to try and make it straight, so I'm just lining it up on my cutting mat. Let's go, let's make it go about there. So I'm making it 4, 5, 6, 7, just over 7 centimeters wide. I have no idea what that is in inches. And for no particular reason, it just is like, that looks like it might be about right. So it is just under 3 inches wide. Okay. So now from here you have a decision to make. You can leave that as is with the white or whatever happens to be on the page that you've collaged, apart from a little bit of a U and an R down here. The rest of it's white, although it has been smudged with some sort of dirt. But my idea is not to be so boring. So apologies if you would leave it straight, because that is perfectly fine and it is not boring. But my plan is to give it a cool edge and therefore more interesting. Shall I say not less boring, it's just more interesting. Perhaps that's a politer way of saying it. So I'm going to just cut along. Hopefully I'm in frame doing this. Cut along the edges of those hexagons. And so you do want your side pocket a little bit deeper than what you might otherwise make, because you are trimming it down by taking off those blank bits in between. So there we go. We can mount it on our page, or on the outside of the page is probably more. Shall we do it up the right way? Not that I particularly care about it being up the right way, but we may as well. So put it on the side of your page and decorate it up. So we may decorate these up if we have time. I'll give it a bit of ink, shall I? That's kind of decorating, isn't it? Just don't want to do it over my page and get inky crumbs, sponge crumbs on my page here. Not that I think it would hurt it at all. Just add a bit of extra detail, wouldn't it? Okay, so there's one idea, is to make a cool little side tuck with this cool interesting shape that you can then just tuck, you know, whatever into it. Journal card, tags, what have you. Okay, has got a little bit of glue on there. So just see if I can wipe some of that off. Of course I've just wiped some of the ink off too, but never mind. I can always re-ink once it's dry. Okay, so to the next bit. I would like to do a similar thing but with a standard pocket. So I need that back so I can look at how wide I would like it. Maybe about there. So I might take it a little bit narrower than that. Let's line it up so I get it straight, because I'd like a useful bit left over at the end is what I would like. So if I make it too narrow, then I'm too narrow on this bit, then it's not really that usable. So let's go here for our pocket, and we'll get 2 out of this. And this could be a journaling card as well. It'd look awesome as a journaling card. You know, you could just decorate that up, back it of course, and you've got a fun background for a journaling card. But I would like to turn it into pockets. If I can work it, what's it going to look like? Yeah, I'm going to go for it. Like, this is the whole purpose, so don't chicken out now. You know, it's easier, I think, just to go in with the scissors. And I'm just going around the edges. Now you could do a fun there and make that a corner pocket with an interesting thing, but I'm going to try and make 2 standard pockets out of it. Well, when I say standard, I mean, you know, just your basic bottom pocket, but with a difference. With a cool funky edge on it. Cool funky shape. Okay, so here we have, oops, that was close. closing my knife to make it safe and almost got me. Right, so here we've got a pocket here, and you put your journaling card or tag or whatever in there. So we've got this cool, almost like a tab, stick up top. So I'll ink it and then show on the journal page so you can get a better feel for it. So I did make this quite a bit narrower than the page, which is fine. I mean, it still fits well, and if you've got a narrower page, then it's all good. So there have I got a journaling card handy. Not in that one. It's a pocket container. Let's see if I can grab out a quick something here just for a better visual. Sorry, I know those clicks are quite loud. It's a very tight closure on these containers. Let's just find that fit. Yep, that fit. So here's out of my pre-made ephemera. It's one of my journal cards here, and so tuck it in there. You can decorate this up, and I think that looks pretty cool. So let's have a look at this one, because this one works the other way. I was going to trim the white off, but I'm going to ink it, so why trim it off when the ink's going to hide that, since it's only a little sliver of white. Now, if you didn't like these as deep, you could absolutely trim them down a bit and just leave a little bit showing of the shape. You don't have to have like the full height of that shape there. This one is upside down with the text. Again, it doesn't bother me. So imagine if there was like a the head, like a, you know, sort of the head of an animal or a person or something, standing the right way, sort of poking up in that gap. I think that would be fun. If you don't like that way, I don't know, maybe you could mount it up this way and just have a void at the bottom, so that your journal card, the bottom of your journal card, peeks out the bottom. So like the bird's not quite in the right place, but you could have something peeking out the bottom if you don't like the text upside down. And again, that's just an interesting shape, something quirky and different. Or you could mount it sideways. So this journal card will be a bit long to fit on the page, but if you had a shorter journal card or tag or something, then it would work just as well sideways. And just something a little bit fun, a little bit different. So how are we going for time? Oh, we've got heaps of time. Let's see if we can do some decorating. So, we've got this bit. Before we get to decorating, we've got this bit. So it's got a funky edge on where it's sort of all over the place. So let's straighten that up first. So I have to take a reasonable amount off, I think. In order to get it straight. So I think this will make just a kind of a plain ordinary tag, so without the funky shape going on. It's just going to have an interesting collaged background. So let's just trim up that wonky edge. Not the sort of wonky you want, not a fun wonky, it was just a wonky. There we go, and that's going to make a nice tall skinny tag. Hopefully that was straight, looks not too bad. And we can back that, so I'll pop that aside because I really want to work on these fun shape ones first. So what would I like to add to them? I hadn't actually thought that far. I just wanted to do this bit because it was fun. You know, you get these random ideas in the middle of the night. Now, if you're the upside down one, if you're not sure which way you want to use it, then you perhaps might want to leave to decorate it until you put it in a journal so that you know how you want to use it. I'm actually going to put it this way so I have something peeking down the bottom So when I glue it, I'll glue it just on the bottom of these flaps and the sides, and then leave it so that whatever goes in can show in the bottom there, because it's, as long as it's wider than this gap here, it's not going to fall out. So I think I'm going to do it that way, because I think that's fun. Like, that's really fun. Do I want to round the corners? I might round the corners on this one, I think. Just at the top for a little something different. Just playing with how things look. I might have to actually take off my hoodie just a moment. So I am very toasty now. This morning I couldn't warm up and my fingers weren't walking. No, they weren't walking, but neither were they working. And now I'm like, it's warm, which is good. I'm happy to be warm. Okay, so we're going to do that one that way, that one that way. Do I want to round these corners? No, I don't think so. Do I want a notch? That is the other consideration. Do you want to put a notch in the top since we have got this gap at the bottom? Yes, why not? Let's put a notch in the top of this one. This one we won't, because it's got the stick up bit at the top, so we don't need a notch, because it would take away from the look of the hexagon. But certainly ways that you can vary it, notch or not notch, upside down, sideways, trimming down the excess if you don't like it so deep, or you could even trim it straight across, but that kind of takes away from the shape. It just makes it normal shape. Lots of options. So let's see, I'm feeling bird, feeling like we might use a bird, so let's see what we've got here that will fit. This one might, he looks quite good, but have we got something that's perhaps a little bit, that's smaller, a little bit larger maybe? No, too big, too big, smaller. What's that one like? That's kind of fun, isn't it? Let's go with that one. Little bit of, actually no, I'm not going to cut out all those gaps. Maybe just trim a little bit in here, just a little bit more, not going right up to the stem of the plant, because that will be very, very fragile if I do. So just giving it a slight trim up in that space, and I think that's okay. If we give it a little bit of ink, hopefully I don't destroy it by giving it a little bit of ink. And when I say destroy it, I mean make it look a bit funky. No, I think it's fine. Okay, and just give it an edge as well. Just tones down that white a bit, makes it not quite so stark. It's a little trick I learned from Gail Agostinelli over on her channel, which I'm sure you all know who Gail is. She's such an inspiration. She's my daily breakfast video. I always watch Gail when I'm having breakfast. It's such a nice, inspiring way to start the day. Right, here we go. Oops, covered in crumbs. Yeah, I like that. Now I don't need to put book page behind because there's already a book page. I might like to layer it up though with a label or something instead. So grab out my handy dandy label folio that I made in the last Trashcraft Tuesday video, the one that was aired this week. Sorry, I'm going to rip the Velcro open, so close your ears if you don't like Velcro sounds. There we go, it's done now. You can unplug your ears. Super happy with this little folio. Awesome. It's just so handy to grab all my labels in one location. Oh yes, I quite like that. Is it a bit big maybe? It's kind of hiding our hexagons. Let's see about these sizes. What might we like? There's a bird. Well, we've already got a bird, so maybe not. Maybe the green one with green on it. Oh, fingers and thumbs. I'm not sure. Let's try something different. Just got to audition sometimes. If you're not quite sure, just try a few other things until you go, oh, actually the first one was fine, which happens quite a lot to me. Or something just goes, yes, that's it. Not entirely sure about that one either. Maybe this one with some blue on it. Yes, I like that one. And I don't know why some work better than others. It's just kind of, you get a feeling for what makes your eyes happy. And what make my eyes happy may not be the same as what makes your eyes happy. It's all individual. Right, so let's give, just to make sure there's no wonky cutting showing, if I left some white here and there, give it an ink, and it also then matches in with the rest of it. Okay, so where do we want to pop it? We want to pop it about under there. Okay, just going to use my tacky glue for this because I'm going to be using it for the bird. And I'm sick of my gouging out my glue stick today, so sorry glue stick, you're banned for the rest of the video. Unless I say otherwise. You can sit in the naughty seat. Right, try and put it straight. And now our birdie, just cut out of a field guide for birds. I'm not sure which one this is out of. I've got a South African one and an Australian one, and recently I picked up an English one. Well, it's not out of the English one because I haven't cut anything out of that yet. So this is either out of the South African field guide or the Australian one. And I can't tell from the back, what I can see in the back, which one either. I can't even tell by the little bit of map showing. I have no idea. Doesn't matter. It's a bird. It's a bird that's going on our pocket. Here we go. And a word or a number maybe. So let's try stamped words first, and then if I can't find anything here, then I'll have a look at my printed words. It feels like it's not big enough. I'm very limited on my stamped words. That might have been alright if I glued it on first, but it goes over top of the bird, so no, reject that. No. Okay, let's go. These ones, I think, to my printed words. I'm getting stacks of stuff around me as usual. Have we got... no, yellow's not the right colour to go with that. No, that's too close to the size of the label. Oh, it's a hard road finding the perfect things to put on your ephemera, isn't it? Again, the yellow's not... I like the word, I just not liking the yellow on this. How about that? It says Excel. Yep, I like that. Let's go with that. So this is out of my Vertical Words Plus kit over on Etsy. And there's, I think from memory, 3 pages. Each page has a different colour background and a different font to give you lots of options, and pretty much the same words in between each 3 pages, but there are a few little differences here and there, particularly in the horizontal ones that are at the bottom, the wee sayings. There's just a little switch up here and there just to make sort of extend the options you have. Okay, I like that. So we've got our cute, funky little pocket. Let's have a look at it on our journal page. Oh, that's fun. I love that. Very cool. Okay, let's get on to this other one. This funky one with the gap at the bottom. So this could be a challenge to decorate, but thinking flower maybe. Can we find a flower that was going to fit? I just realised I've got no hexagons, large hexagons in music paper. They're all in the smaller hexagons because I just was using scraps of music paper and they weren't big enough for the big one. I'm just kind of feeling like it's not sitting that well, so perhaps we'll have a look at the birds again. Too big. Had that problem last time, didn't we? Here's a penguin. Oh, how about penguin? Or we've got these guys, which if we just took off a bit of the background there, could push it over. That's kind of fun. So a couple of options there, and yet she's still looking. You know it. It's not quite the right angle. This bird. Oh, that's the other one I had before. These big birds probably not going to fit, but they're cool. Yeah, no, they're not going to fit. Ooh, yeah, you're not going to fit, are you, beautiful owl? Sad. He would have been gorgeous there. Big hummingbird, way too big. I just like looking at all the options. Actually, that's quite nice. I like that. I think that's my favourite. So let's go with that. So I'm just going to put these flowers away for a moment. Okay. So let's give them an ink up. Just around the edge. No more fussy cutting to do on this one. It's all ready to go. No tricky fiddly little bits were left. So yeah, if you see these field guides out in the wild, secondhand, I've got all mine secondhand. They are just so good. Okay, again, a label. Do we want a label under that? Of course we do. So these labels here that I'm using are from Shabby Cottage Studio. Okay, so I've got my tweezers for when I accidentally push them right to the bottom of the pocket. I can just slip my tweezers in. And these are only, they were a set of 5 different shapes of tweezers that my husband bought me for Christmas. They're only a couple of dollars, so cheap as anything. Do a vertical. You want a vertical label? Or do we like a horizontal label? I think I like the horizontal actually. So let's go with that. Pop those back in the pocket they came out of. Oh, I love that. It's just so easy to stay organized with that folio. Yeah, I think I want those different heights. So let's glue the birdies down because we're not putting the label under the birdies this time. And I'm thinking maybe a postage stamp. Might be fun if we can find a one that suits. There, put our label down. I will give it an ink first. There we go. That's that. Shall we look at stamps? Haven't looked at my stamps for a while. I tend to forget about them, or not so much forget about them because they're right behind me and I see them all the time. I just find it hard to use them because I love stamps and it's hard to let go of them because I was a stamp collector, as were my brothers, from a young age, and so it's just hard to... It's interesting, this got 3D written on it and this stamp is a 2D. I like that though. Let's just put it down. Let's not hoard our stamps. I'm gonna do it. Yes, I am. Because I think it actually looks very cool. And it's a great size for this too. Like, it's not too big. I didn't want it to sort of compete too much with the birds. And size was a big factor in that. I didn't ink it because I just want it to kind of be there. Do I want a word? I don't know that I do. Or a number maybe? You can try a number. I mean, we have got the 3D sitting there, but I'm just wondering about sort of bringing in something down the bottom here. This is the wrong colour. Oops, spilling out into my lap. So if we just tear this down a little bit more and then still reject it, maybe. We shall see. I think now that I'm seeing this, that the plainness down there bothers me. Okay, no, that's not making me happy. Let's go something else. I have another idea. Let's look at stamping it with stamps. Okay, I'm thinking maybe one of these splatters or something. There's a dotty one here. Maybe we'll try that one, just to add a little bit of something. Onto that plain brown. Grab out my acrylic block. My acrylic block, I don't know if you remember, it was absolutely filthy and I hated using it because it was just black and I couldn't, no matter how often I wiped it with a baby wipe, I just couldn't get it clean. Look at it now, it's almost as good as new. There's still a bit of stuff there, I could put a bit more elbow grease in. Quick tip, hand sanitizer. It cleaned it up like a dream. Like, I'm super happy it brought it back almost good as new. So there's a quick tip for you. If you're struggling with staining on your acrylic block, try hand sanitizer. And let's face it, there's a lot of that around now. I'm just looking for a stamping sheet to put underneath. Oh, here's a little offcut of book page. Let's use that. The same pages I used to back the collage hexagons on. Yep, just takes away from that plainness. Perfect. Yep, and then maybe just a little bit at the top because we might as well hit 3 spots with it. Ah, that's exactly what it needed. Yay. Very happy with that now. Clean off my stamp there. I'll pop it back before I lose it because, you know, that's so easy to happen. They drop on the floor and meld with the carpet. Oh, excuse me, my mouth's getting a bit dry. It must be the fire going. So just have a drink of my tea, which is getting cold as well, so it's always nice when it's hot. Yay! I'm really happy with that now. So we've got 2 funky pockets, really interesting shapes. So let's have a look at this one on our... I mean, how fun is that? And where's the journal card gone? I put it back in the container. Hang on, let's grab it. Oh, without pushing everything off my desk. Or maybe even something like this. This is just another little card. No, it's just got a wee peep out the bottom. Fun, fun, fun. Oh, I wanna grab this card back again. Yay! I'm glad this is working. I'm glad that, yeah, my late night idea is actually producing something useful. Okay, so this one. So we've got quite a tall space to decorate, which can be a bit challenging. So maybe a flower on this one might be the thing to do. And find a tall, skinny something. Oops. That one maybe. See if we've got something. No. Maybe. Oops. Caught together. It's about the same size. No. Just having a fossick. kind of nice too. I'm having trouble seeing around my container of flowers, and that's probably glaring at you, so let's just move that aside so you're not distracted by that. What do I like better? Kind of that sinks in a bit much, doesn't it? I quite like it, but it's kind of a bit invisible. I don't feel like any of them are actually really tall enough. Maybe we need a strip of something like my faux washi. Let's try something. What colour might we like? So we've got a neutral background, so basically any colour we like would work. But I'm still thinking neutral, so it won't take away with whatever image we do put on top. Okay, I like that. Yes, it's joined in the middle, two sections of paper that I joined in the middle when I made it. I don't think it matters which end I go for, it's all much of a muchness. So let's just trim it to size and stick that on. So pop this wee scrap back in my file. So I made this during a Trashcraft Tuesday video, so if you're interested in that, head along to, I think it's titled Not Particularly Helpful. I was trying to be creative and I don't think the title was particularly helpful. Something like, are you sure you've finished with that old magazine? It's got a title something along those lines, but it's definitely in the Trashcraft Tuesday playlist. So if you want to watch that, yeah. I'm sure when you see it, you'll know, that's the one with the funny title. Yeah. Sometimes being creative with your titles kind of doesn't work. I could go back and change it, but if you're interested enough, you'll find it. If you haven't seen it already. But I'm super addicted to making this stuff. I'm still making it. I'm not making it as often, but I'm definitely still making it. And I've used up a whole roll of this width tape making it, and I've used up half a roll of the wider tape, or probably more than half a roll actually. Like, it is quite addictive. So much fun. Okay, so I don't think I like that. I do like that. Now let's see if a flower will kind of make us happy over top of that. Yeah, see, that immediately to me is a lot better. So I'm just going to take a sip of my cup of tea. It just elongates the image somehow without having to have a tall image. It kind of doesn't sit as well for me actually, that one. I think this one is printed incorrectly. My cyan ink clogged up, so this one isn't true to colour, but I still think they're pretty, so I still use them. They're just more yellow, so like the green leaves should be more like this, and you can see they're quite goldy looking, which I don't mind, but I do need to let you know so that you don't think it's the fault of the kit, because it's absolutely not. And this kit is from Artsology, these flowers. It's a huge kit, lots and lots of flowers. Something like that. Sorry, I'm being very indecisive, aren't I, with what I want to go with. So some of these are printed correctly and some aren't, because the whole thing printed out and most of it came out incorrectly, like this one, before I realised that there was a problem. Actually, I quite like that one, so let's go with that one. I'm thinking this is Oops, don't tip out on the floor. Thinking a vertical word here would be absolutely perfect. So let's see if we can find one that we like. Sunshine. Pleasantness. Actually, we could go for a yellow one because there's yellow there. So pleasant. No. Friendship. I quite like that. Okay, go with that one. And let's see if there's a label we might like. So I might try a different style of label. Maybe a round one, or oh, how about this one? This one says White Rose. These are from Printables by Marty Joe. And there's not a white rose there. There's pink, red and yellow. But however, I'm just covering off all the colours. No, maybe that's not going to work. No, it's not working for me. Just having a look. Maybe it was the colour that wasn't so well. How about an oval? It's okay. But I think the text on it is competing. Oops, get back in there. Competing with the word. That one actually goes that way. Oh, it's so fun decorating, isn't it? You get to play. Just relaxing, fiddling around, and doing it on camera. No, it's not gelling with me. Okay, maybe not a label. Maybe not a label. There's a flower trying to escape. So, other option, stamp. Where did I put my stamps? Here they are, upside me. What colour stamp would... Sorry guys, I'm taking absolute age to do this, but I'm having fun. That's what matters, isn't it? I hope you're having fun watching. No. Oh dear, have I reached that dreaded stage where things aren't just coming together for me? No, sometimes you reach that stage where it's just like, oh no, nothing seems to be coming for me. Nothing seems to be working out. A couple of Australian stamps. I'm striking out. Help! Help! Send the ephemera helpers. Rescue me. This one's a nice stamp. It's got an old horse tram on it. But it doesn't really work with the roses. Okay. That'll be for something else. Here I am trying to use my stamps and I'm not actually finding something to work. Here's rose stamp on its own. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stamp it. And I'm going to use that same stamp because I think that looked really cool on the other one. Because I think where I'm placing the stamp or whatever, it's bugging me that it's then showing up the blank areas. And the blank areas are seeming much more empty. Now where did I put my scrapboard? Here it is, scrap paper. So let's stamp it first and then see if it's going to make the other elements better. And there's also a bit of ink up there, so let's disguise it with a bit of stamping. Okay. Hope I'm not going over time doing this. I feel like I've been here forever. Right, I'll put that away in a minute. Save a bit of time. Okay, let's have a look at this now. There. I'm going to put, do we want to add the stamp? That is the question. I think actually all this white around me is bugging, so let's just tear a bit of that envelope away from it, or as much as we can without killing the stamp. I quite often like the paper backing around it from the envelope where it's just been torn away from the envelope, but sometimes it's just distracting, and that was one of those times. Yes, I like that a lot better, and I'll like it even better, I think, once I've just dulled down that white edge a little bit, giving it some inky love. And in fact, I'm going to put some on the inside there where it's very white as well. Don't want it to take away from our lovely floral image, which is very delicately coloured because of the errors in printing. And I think I've already used the properly printed version of this somewhere else. Otherwise I'd sit here for 20 minutes hunting for the other version of it. I'm pretty sure I've already used it. And I don't want to print another copy while I've still got so many available to use. Okay, yeah, I'm going to commit to it. I still need to ink around the friendship, the word. Don't let me forget, people. And then I think I'll check the time, but I think that's probably going to be all we've got time for today. So we won't get to that negative piece. That will have to be for another day. So in the end we got there. Took a bit of time. Hopefully it's helpful to see the thought processes behind, why I rejected, or I mean, sometimes I don't even know. It's just doesn't look quite right, or I think it could be better. Sometimes it's just as vague as that. But I do like that faux washi strip down. I think that really helps to just kind of connect everything. And then ink this. Must be a nice day outside. All the cats are outside. If it was horrible outside, they'd all be in here sleeping, wanting cuddles. One of the two, but there's not a cat to be seen. Okay, so this bit wants to pop up, but once it's glued down to a page, it'll be absolutely fine. Just give it a wee bend back there. Okay, so I'm so much happier with that now. It's brought it together, and that little bit of stamping in the background just made quite a difference. It really did. Very happy with that. Okay, so there's our little side pocket tuck thing. Fun, really fun. So pop a journal card or something. It would take a bigger journal card than that, but something in there, or a big tag. Super cute. Love it. Really happy. So check the time. Oh, we're well and truly over. Sorry about that, people. My gosh, I was just lost in the land of having fun. I hope you don't mind. There we go. There is the project, what we made, all completed, decorated, and we'll save the negative for another video. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you had a lot of fun, were inspired by this, and forgive me for taking so long to do it. So have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll catch you again next week. Take care. Bye.